family. Welcome back to the LTD Leadership Lean-In, where our goal is to help you lead like never before in your hotel and in your home. My name is Sam, your VP of Sales and Culture.
And I'm Richard Murphy. I don't know my title anymore. We are very excited to have another episode where we get to interview somebody. So you guys get to hear somebody besides Sam and I, because we get old fast.
Yeah.
And so for this episode, we have
Amy.
And Amy is going to tell you guys how you can use the LTD Leadership Lean-In as a tool. Use it to develop your team, let us do the work for you. And so we're going to cut right into that in a moment. We are aware that there was some audio issues about halfway through with Amy, unfortunately. I think it's still very audible.
Yeah.
But just to acknowledge it up front, we are working to get better, and we hope to not have these issues in the future as we get fancy microphones and stuff. But yeah, it's still, we were apologizing up front, but still plenty of great content, and I think we got in a reasonable amount of time. So enjoy, lean in.
Well, hey guys, we're here with Amy Gilliam. She is a longtime member of the LTD family, and we are so excited for you to get to know her. And I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you, Amy. Maybe just give us a brief introduction to you, how long you've been with LTD, what your role here is with LTD, and your longtime tenure within the hospitality industry.
Thank you. So again, my name is Amy Gilliam. I've been with the company for 15 years. I've been here at the Holiday Inn Newport News as a director of sales for just a little over 4 years. When I started with the company, I was a tour and travel sales manager, and we were in the corporate office in Newport News. And from there, I was a regional. I've been a director of sales, and then I've also had the opportunity to do some task force work with LTD. So I've had the pleasure of heading out to Little Rock, Arkansas, and Lake Charles, Louisiana, to do some task force work.
Yeah. Amy's being humble in her assessment of her tenure with this company, but she truly is one of our most valued leaders, and that's why we want to introduce you all to her, because she has so much insight to bring to all of us. Specifically, one of the things that we've noted, I think Richard and I can speak to this, we've heard great testimony both from Amy and Amy's team on how Amy is leveraging as a leader the LTD Leadership Lean-In and the training and development opportunities that through LTD University that Richard is crafting for our teams, as well as our meetups and all of these initiatives that we're really trying to push forward. We are all bought in here at the Holiday Inn Newport News, specifically in the sales department. And so we just wanted to hear from you, Amy. How are you using these tools to help grow and develop your team? What are you doing to help get that buy-in? And how are you utilizing these resources to pursue being better as a group?
Yeah, and sorry to jump in real quick, but before you even start, Amy, I would like to know how you consume it. We have some of our audience likes to listen to just the podcast version. Some prefer the YouTube because they love to see these beautiful faces.
Richard's beautiful face.
Yeah.
Very humble. When do you find the time? Because that's what I hear too, is that sometimes we can be a little long-winded. How do you find the time to listen and consume this?
So I listen to it through the YouTube channel. We typically come into work very early. So I find that when I'm in early and there's not as many people in the office, I like to take that time to listen, and I print out the sheet that you have, the guide, and I listen to it through YouTube. If I find that the week is getting away from me, or I have a deadline as to when everybody on the team needs to listen to it. So if I find that is I'm running out of time, then I take the time at home and I listen, because there's no interruptions at home, and I can listen and fully embrace all the information. And I believe for the most part the entire team listens to it through the YouTube channel.
Okay. And I'm assuming based on what you say, you set the expectation for your team. Like I hate to say anything's a requirement, but you make it a requirement, or?
I do. Just, anytime you guys put out something like this, you're trying to help us develop, you're trying to help us grow. So it becomes part of our monthly discipline, if you will. We meet as a sales team every Thursday. Polly's in the office, so the entire team is together every Thursday. So whenever Lean-In drops, we're required to listen before our next meeting on Thursday so that we can all talk about it. It's part of the agenda in our Thursday sales meetings.
Okay. And when is your team actually watching it? Or how are they consuming it?
They consume it through the same way, through the YouTube channel. Some choose to do it at home with less interruption, but a lot of times I can hear them here in the office and listening to it here in the office. They try, it's tough sometimes to get a 30-minute window, an hour window where nobody is coming in or interrupting you. But they find the time to do it, whether they shut the door, like I said, do it at home. They definitely find the time to listen, and they're ready to talk about that during our sales meetings on Thursday.
Oh, great.
Fantastic. I think we heard some great feedback from our recent episode on feedback, specifically on how you were able to use the content within that particular episode to really engage in dialogue with your team and to prepare yourself and them for the upcoming annual evaluation, sort of to prepare their minds and their hearts for how we're going to receive the feedback, and really to get an idea of how do they feel about feedback, how do they respond to feedback, how do they best like to receive feedback. And I'm hoping that you can maybe give us a little bit of insight into a specific example of how you utilize the content in an episode to lead the way for your team, and kind of give us an idea of how you were able to do that.
Okay, yeah, that was the most effective lean-in, was thank you for your feedback part 1, because you impeccable timing. Obviously you guys timed that, purposely to right before the evaluation. So it was a time where we just kind of tossed everything to the side, and we had about a 30-minute conversation, and it was real conversation about how we receive feedback. And most of the team does not receive it well. Right. And they were very honest as to why they become defensive, why they act the way they do when they hear feedback. And they, like I said, automatically get on the defense. So we just talked through some of that, because really the whole purpose of feedback, and especially with the evaluations, is to make us better. So it's coming from a good place. It's not coming, we're not attacking people. It's coming from a place of wanting them to develop and grow and be better. So after each person went around, and we didn't know each other received it that way. So it was kind of like, oh, good, I'm not the only one that has a hard time hearing that. And what are we going to do to make it different as we hear it through the evaluation? And it changed. I think the evaluations would have gone a lot different had we not had that podcast, and had we not talked about it as a group, and had everyone not been so honest about their feelings during that time. So it was the most effective. And then part 2 came out, and I wanted to remind them, so we've had the evaluations, everybody did great. We know what we have to work on. We know we're doing great. We know what we need to work on. But now moving forward, you're going to receive it better moving forward, because you're going to get feedback your whole life, whether it's from your boss or a coworker or a husband, spouse, whatever.
Client.
To have that second episode was extremely helpful. It just reiterated. And then Richard, your class helped tremendously as a follow-up. I mean, anytime I can send a team member to one of those classes is going to be great, because they see it from a different perspective, and they hear it from other people in the company as well. So it's not just them, feeling this, it's really company-wide. So that's how we utilize it, and it's fantastic. And I'll admit, in the beginning it was a little bit tough. They're like, oh, here we go. But now we understand the value of it, and now we come with open minds, open hearts to receive the information.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. Not only is it the audience that we're reaching and it has an impact on, but it sounds like those who are reaching directly are able to spread the message to those who, even at this point, aren't consuming the content, but they're getting it secondhand, I guess I can say. So I guess what for you, for somebody who's not just using this to consume and feel the impact themselves, or you're you're using it actively as a tool with your team to develop them, what are some things that you think that we can add, change, remove that would make your job easier as somebody who's using it as almost a curriculum?
I think I think the timing is definitely a way. If we could keep it at a 30-minute time frame, that's helpful.
Mhm.
I was also thinking from an operations standpoint, because of course the sales team, the entire sales team, I think company-wide is embracing this. Well, first of all, anything that Sam puts out is important to us and we want to be a part of. So I think that from an operations standpoint, to help them, maybe you do a couple of podcasts and do them 15 minutes and they can use them at a huddle. Maybe it's a customer service podcast for 10 or 15 minutes, something that they could bring a portion of it to their huddles in the morning. But that would, help the front desk, help housekeeping, food and beverage. Those types of things might be helpful to help bring in more people, especially from an operations standpoint, into the training. But everyone has to understand, you take 15, 20 minutes of your life or 30 minutes of your life to help you grow. That is, absolutely worth it. And we're all in the same boat. This hotel is one of the busiest hotels in the portfolio, and we still make time to learn and to grow. So I think just cutting the time would help.
No, I appreciate that feedback. It's something that Sam and I have discussed about, we also need to make sure that we're pushing the content out quickly and not just having a good time and spending a long time chatting. But no, and I love the idea of doing a shorter one that can actually be used to just put directly with all the teams. It's really self-serving for us to say that, because that is really another thing that we're adding to our so it's almost like plugging upcoming, is that starting next week we'll have weekly episodes that are gained around 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, that are used just for that. As a GM, it was very hard to create content for my huddle. Me and Sam are coming up with something to do twice a month, and it takes us 2 weeks to do it. I could only, I remember how difficult it was to do content every day, 7 days a week. So, we will take one day a week for you.
That's great. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think we might have planted that seed in there, Amy. We were hoping that that's where you were going to go with it, but we're very excited about what's to come for the Leadership Lean-In, with our Monday Morning Huddle podcast and more segments where we're getting to know team members and we're celebrating success and service. We're just looking forward to continuing to not only grow as leaders, but also to stay informed with company updates and all of the necessary knowledge to make sure that we're communicating well as a team. But I was so thankful for your feedback on, yes, it does take time, but our vision of LTD, the vision of our organization, is the constant pursuit to be better. And we know that this is an infinite game, right? There is no such thing as I've arrived. No one is the best leader. No one has ever made it. There's no such thing, right? We all should remain coachable in spirit. And if we are going to hold true and stay aligned with the mission and vision of LTD, then we all need to stay intentional about our growth and development. It is critical. So thank you for being intentional and for buying in and bringing this to your team, because I truly believe that this short investment in growth and development will yield such great returns, not only for your team, but for the hotel and for LTD on the whole. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you for the practical and very tactical knowledge that you've brought the group today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Of course. Anything else, Richard?
No, I just had another idea for another t-shirt, practical and tactical, I think.
Oh, we're gonna have merch. It's so exciting. Now everybody's gonna have a mug and all sorts of fun things. We're working on it. It's gonna get better, right? But we're so excited. We launched this thing as an idea, and we knew that it would slowly form into what we wanted and really what the field needed. And so we're excited to see the continued iteration of what this looks like, and hope to continue to add value to our team members like you and like the rest of the group, the LTD family. So thank you so much again, Amy, for your time. We are grateful for it, and we will chat soon. Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, thank you so much, Amy. We are always grateful to hear from our leaders in the field. We know they have so much knowledge and wisdom to give us all. So we are very thankful for the time spent, and we know we're all better for it. So we will catch you guys on the next episode. We're hoping to have another interview style podcast. So we're really looking forward to learning from more leaders within the LTD family.
Yeah, so again, thank you so much. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for our Holiday Inn Newport News team. And thank you guys for listening. Without you, we would have no reason to do this.
We definitely wouldn't know what Richard's title was.
Yes.
All right. Well, on that note, let's just go ahead and let's lean in and get better together.